It tends to be very intraracial, demographically.
Sure, illegal on illegal crime is probably not reported to the extent that, any extent.
That any
but
crime
look,
is.
Doctor, come on. Look at it, just break it down. If you have sanctuary cities in Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, and Houston, the four biggest cities in the country, and you have your police ordered not to ask if felons are illegal, come on, you're never going to get the stats. You'll never know what's going on. So, of course, it's underreported.
Well, it's always going to be. The problem very often is that your police, who are local law enforcement, and your feds have a huge disconnect.
The police are ordered not to do it by the mayors and the city councils of the towns.
Who are probably
if they do it, they're fired.
And they're pressured by the feds.
And if they call ICE in Los Angeles, they're fired. If the sheriff or the LAPD calls the feds and said, look, I got a gangbanger here who just shot dead 3 people. Can you give me a readout on him? They're fired. So how can you possibly know? So the problem can never be exposed to its true extent and never be solved.
Well, I agree, and I think that to a large extent, non-response has been the major ICE reaction to these phone calls. So it's death by attrition.
It used to be that way, but now ICE is really much, much better. It used to be that way. But 2 years ago, it started to change because of pressure from this program and others. All right, now, don't you see this as a tremendous danger to the American public? 500,000 violent crimes. And as you said, that's all we know about. It's probably triple that. And we don't have our own crime problem in America, and now we have to add all of this? Isn't that an outrage?
It is an outrage, but the potential for this violent crime is, again, something that we have to work on from a policy standpoint, because half the people who are up for parole who are illegal aliens never get a deportation hearing as they're supposed to administratively.
It's unbelievable.
So many of them go...
Why don't they get it?
Because they're focusing on the most violent criminals. I guess that's the good news. And making sure that process is followed by those who pose a greater threat to society. Many people slip through the cracks, and we never really even know the potential for violence or future crime.
But you don't believe that a Chandra Levy is as high profile as this murder and unsolved for all of these years. And we have also factors investigating why it was unsolved, because we understand that this guy, this Salvadoran, came to the attention of the D.C. authorities very soon after the murder. So tomorrow we're going to have a follow-up on this. But you don't believe that Americans are going to get so angry they're going to demand President Obama and Congress do something about this?
I would hope so, but I don't think so. I think what's really shocking is that he wasn't ever even on the radar. If he had not confessed to somebody else,
they wouldn't have gotten it.
They would have no idea.
Right.
So there has to be a better system, a documentation system, whether it's a national ID card system or something of this nature, so that we have an idea of who the suspect pool can be in any crime.
Just the gang-related, just the illegal alien gangs in the major cities? I mean, come on, you know what that is.
Well, Florida and California have some frightening statistics on this. And not just the fact that you have gangs on the streets, but once incarceration occurs, you snap people up, you get them
they have gangs inside.
The gangs go on inside,
right.
And networks evolve, and the longer you keep them in there, the more community they have, and that way if they get out and don't go back to a native country...
Well, even if they do go back to the native country, they can come back here because we still haven't solidified the border as well as we should. Doctor, thanks very much as always. We appreciate it. Next on The Rundown, will President Obama